Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Juliet, and in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through my payday routine. So I'm gonna show you how I personally use my paycheck budget to intentionally use my money when I get paid. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go to my computer so I can walk you through my payday routine. Alrighty, so we are currently in my paycheck budget spreadsheet for my second paycheck in August. If you watched my last video, you'll probably notice that this date is a little bit different. So I get paid on a semi-monthly basis, meaning I get paid on the 15th and the last business day of every single month. And so for the month of August, I was supposed to get paid on the 31st. However, the bank that I bank with has an early payday program, so I typically get my paycheck 2 to 3 days early. So that is why the date is August 29th for when I actually got my paycheck instead of the 31st. So I just make sure that that's reflected in my spreadsheet. But with this paycheck, even before paycheck day happens or payday happens, I always make sure that all my credit cards and all my bills that were allocated for my last paycheck have been paid for. So I go into every single paycheck on a clean slate. Not only that, but I also make sure that I look at what my current checking account balance is and if there's any rollover from my previous paycheck to this current paycheck. So when I checked my checking account, I had $3,210.38. So my paycheck again was $2,386.64. So then I just go ahead and do a little bit of easy math, and I find that I have a pretty substantial amount of rollover. $823.74 of rollover, and trust me, this is not my typical rollover amount from paycheck to paycheck. Usually I have between $100 to $200 in rollover if I'm lucky, but this rollover amount is just high because I sold a pretty high price item on eBay, so that's why it's so high. But I don't like using rollover or counting rollover towards my income. Instead, any rollover amount, it goes towards any extra loan or debt payments. So in this case, I'm putting all this rollover money towards my car fund. So my car fund, which we'll talk about a little bit later, is there to help me pay any additional loan payments on my car loan minimum, and my car insurance. But yeah, this rollover will be a very nice hefty sum to put towards my car so I can pay it down as fast as I freaking can. All right, so now that that's established, what I do with my paycheck when I get paid, I like to make sure that I transfer anything I possibly can transfer out into its respective checking or savings account immediately, because I don't want to pretend that this $2,386 is all mine. It's all mine to spend however I want, because that's not the case. That is why I have a paycheck budget, so I can intentionally utilize this money and put it to where it's needed. Because, you know, I may get paid this much money, but I got needs that need to be met. I gotta pay my rent, gotta pay my car loan. I don't want my car repoed, you know? So I make sure to transfer anything I can immediately out into their respective accounts. So for example, starting off with rent, because the four walls are very important, as well as proper capitalization. But I first tackle rent. I need to live somewhere that's safe. So I'm gonna transfer this to my joint checking account. This is a joint checking account that I have with my boyfriend, and this joint checking account is only for our rent payments and our renter's insurance payments, because we're not married, so we don't have like a full-fledged joint checking account together where both of our paychecks go. Definitely not at that stage yet. but I'm gonna transfer this today on the 30th, and that is gonna be $800. Then I go ahead and I'm gonna do my car loan minimum payment. And I have to type these out exactly so my formulas work in my spreadsheet. But again, this is gonna go towards my car fund. And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna transfer all $720. And then I spoke about this in my last video, but with forbearance continuing on until the end of 2022, I am not putting anything towards my student loans. Anything that I would have thrown at my student loans is going towards my car. And of course that will change once forbearance ends, but for now, my full attention is on my car loan. So nothing there, but car insurance, well, we definitely need to tackle that. Gotta drive safely. And so we'll go ahead, put all $207 in there. And then, so some of these fixed expenses that you see here, they're on auto pay. So I kind of just have to hold on to my money until the auto pay goes through on its respective date. So there's nothing I can really transfer out. I can transfer out renter's insurance into my joint checking account. Yeah, we could do that too. Even though in our rent or our joint checking account, we always have like a pretty big buffer in there. So I don't technically need to. I could just pay that right from my checking account, but we'll just go ahead and just transfer that out as well. So that's gonna be $7. Yes, $7. And then, so electric, internet, those are all auto pay. Buffer is just my checking account buffer. So if there's any unexpected payments or, you know, something happens, I have $100 as a checking account buffer. I have an additional emergency fund too in a high yield savings account that if something really bad happens, I'm covered. But for right now, I keep my buffer pretty low because I'm doing a lot to try to pay off my debts as quickly as possible. Amazon Prime, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about yearly subscriptions. So I actually have a separate account that I put all my yearly subscription fund money into. So this Amazon Prime, the Dashlane, which is a password management system, Dropbox, and Namecheap. These will all go into my yearly subscription fund. So we're gonna do Amazon Prime, we're gonna do Dashlane, Dropbox, and Namecheap. And again, yearly subscription fund. On today's date, and Amazon Prime was $6, Dashlane was $5, Dropbox was $10, and Namecheap was $2. Let's see how my memory was. Okay, nope, I gotta do Dashlane at $6. So all of these should be equal to one another. Yes, we're good. Okay, so afterwards, that's all I can do from my fixed expenses because everything else is on auto pay. I just have to wait until the auto pay goes through, pay it off, you know, the deal. Next, variable expenses. So there's, you know, I can't really transfer anything out besides this car loan extra. So this is already additional money that I decided to allocate from this paycheck to go towards my car loan or my car fund. So we'll go ahead and transfer that out as well. And then so go to the car fund, $27.64. Okay. And then, you know, as I get groceries, as I get gas, I'll put that in my expense tracker so I can see like where I'm at with my budget, but I don't have any separate checking or savings accounts for my variable expenses. I don't even have cash envelopes. That's just something that I manually track in my spreadsheets. Sinking funds. So again, as I spoke in my last video, this paycheck is just to cover all my monthly expenses. The sinking funds are not really a monthly expense. It's not like a necessity for me. So these sinking funds are going to be tackled in my next paycheck. So my first paycheck for September. So that's it for all my expenses. The next thing, so basically what is happening is I just do all these transfers. Like I literally go through and I do all these transfers on payday. And yes, it hurts because my paycheck basically goes from like, this $2,386, and then I just wipe it all by doing all these transfers. But these are to meet my necessities. These are to make sure that I have my 4 walls and make sure that, I have a safe car that I can drive. And so it hurts, but transferring this money out from my account really ensures that I'm not spending that money in any other way but for what it's intended for, as I've stated on my paycheck budget. So I kind of use my paycheck budget as a contract between myself, and making sure that I, protect myself from my impulsive self, So in the end, so if we count all of this, let's do car fund stuff, and then my yearly subscriptions / insurance. So really at the end of the day, so once I do my rent and my renter's insurance, and then I do everything that's going to my car fund, and all my yearly subscription stuff. So we'll just do a sum of these. So what should be remaining in my checking account after this? So let's see, let's take the sum of this. And then, so in the end, my checking account, after all my transfers have finished, should end up being $601. So yeah, I pretty much, when I get paid, I slash my paycheck by doing all my transfers for my necessities, what I can, feasibly manage, that's not on auto pay. And yeah, so then I have the $601 left over to help tackle these auto pay expenses, as well as my groceries and my gas and transportation. So that is my payday routine. Please let me know if you have any questions or tips or tricks or just anything at all. I would love to hear about it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.